Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Um, Let me check if you can hear me, you can see me. Seems like we are live. You can hear me, you can see me. Let me also check my Twitch. Mhm. Yes, seems like we are live and you can hear me, you can see me. Let me know if anything is wrong with my video quality or with my voice. Maybe it is breaking. Please let me know. I will close this. Mhm. No, no, Vive. Thanks, bro. Thanks. Everything is perfect. Vive, I'm not going to play today's tournament. I will be um, seeing the games. I will analyze them for uh, my viewers and for myself, of course. Less than 15 minutes and 3 plus 0 Thursday will start today on 19th of February 2026. I'm sure many high-rated, strong Grandmasters players will be competing, but of course I would like to um, start my stream with very sudden information news that seems like yesterday, but honestly speaking, uh, I saw it a couple of hours ago. Legendary chess player Jan Timman has passed away. Yes, great chess player, very strong chess player, and he played candidates several times. At the age of, if I'm not mistaken, 74. But let's check together. Yes, yesterday, on 18th of February 2026. And the age of, yes, at the age of 74. Yes, GM Rashid, International Chess Federation. Yes, very sad information. Jan Hendrik Timman, chess player, grandmaster from Netherlands. Wow, 9 times, 9 time Netherlands champion, champion of Netherlands. He was born in 14th of December 1951. Yes, you can see some of the photos. Let's see, big rating. Ian Timan, Dutch Grandmaster, and Best of the West during the 1980s and early 90s reached a peak official FIDE rating of 2680 in January 1990. He was ranked as high as world number 2 in 1982 and sustained a spot among the world's elite for over a yes, great chess player. We have less than 10 minutes. Of course, at the moment we are having international tournament in Graz, in Graz, Austria. We have Romanian Championships 2026. We have very strong round robin tournaments in Uzbekistan. I don't think at the moment we are having Czech league, extra league. German Women's Bundesliga, I think they are also having a break. German Bundesliga as well. On 7th and 8th of February, they played two rounds. We have Azerbaijan Chess Championship. Yes, Poland versus rest of the world. And some other events. For example, this one looks Torneo Internacional de Ajedrez Ciudad Albornoz, Rohit Krishna, Pub Misa, tournament in Rochefort, 78 Montenegro Chess Championship. This can be interesting. Vardaris, Spectrum. Let's see the final. I think this should be the final round. Yes, and what are we having? We have yeah, basically it is between Denis Kadric and Nikola Djukic, because Denis is having 8.5 out of 10, and only Nikola Djukic can catch him. Djukic is having half point less than Kadric. I remember Oleg Yaksin, if I'm not mistaken. He was my age and he was playing for Russia, but seems like he switched. What about another player? Another player from Russia who moved to yes, Petrov, Nikita Petrov, of course, very strong grandmaster. He was playing for Russia, but he switched as well. But another chess player, somehow I cannot see him. Maybe he isn't playing this tournament. Yes, this is interesting. Let's go to see what are we having here. Romanian Championship, and Deac is playing Gavrilescu. So Deac and Gavrilescu are having 4.5 out of 5. And then Philippe Magold, Constantin Lupulescu, Gimpu or Gimpu, Yes. Two players are 4.5 out of 5, and then we have two 5 players are 4 out of 5. So this is about Romanian Championship, and we can see that maybe White is having slightly preferable position, and Dubulescu is playing with the black pieces. Maybe he has some slightly unpleasant situation. Not much. Computer says basically not much, and here White is of course slightly better. And here again nothing. Let's move to see this one. We in the Masters. Yes, first of all, tell I would like to inform my viewers that match between the classical portion of match between Nodirbek Yakuboev and Aravind Chidibaram. They played four classical standard games, and match ended 2.5, 1.5 in Aravind's favor. So today's game, I just saw the result. Did not have much time to check the game, but game ended in a draw. Yes, I was trying to figure out what is happening, and yes, it's a check, and you move the pawn, I guess. You go f4 or you go g3. I capture, you go rook f7, and then it's a perpetual check. But I think players are having rapid and blitz, so it's combined. In the Masters group, we are having Alexander Donchenko drew against Afruza Hamdamova. And Shamsidin Vokhidov, he lost with the white pieces against Etienne Bakro. Abdisalimov, Shant Sargsyan game ended in a draw. Boris Gelfand drew with the white pieces against Aram Hakopian. And Volodar Murzin managed to win with the black pieces against Mohidin Madaminov. Let's see the standings. We see that Aram Hakopian and Shant Sargsyan are leading. They are 4.5 seems like out of 7. Yes, out of 7. And then we are having two players, Boris Gelfand and Etienne Bakro are having 4 out of 7. And then we have two players, Murzin and Donchenko, 3.5 out of 7. Another two players, Shamsidin Vokhidov and Abdimalik Abdisalimov, 3 out of 7. Muhyiddin Madaminov is 2.5 out of 7. Afruza Hamdamova, 2.5 out of 7. Only 2 rounds to go. And let's go to the challengers group. In challengers group, Manuel Petrosyan managed to win with the black pieces against Chinese Grandmaster Zheng Chongsheng. Honestly speaking, I have seen some of his games, and especially games from this tournament, but I don't think I met him. Alexander Rahmanov won against Ortik Nigmatov. Bernatsky Vahidov game ended in a draw. Robert uh, Rak doesn't play well, and he lost against Suyarov. And Aditya Mittal won with the white pieces against Begim, Tohirjonova. Seems like this tournament doesn't go well for Tohirjonova. And let's see the standings. Yes, after 7 rounds, we are having Aditya Mittal 5.5 out of 7, and then Manuel Petrosyan and Alexander Rakhmanov are 5 out of 7. Chinese Grandmaster, he was among the leaders, and maybe even, yes, he was leading the tournament together with Aditya Mittal, but after losing to Manuel Petrosyan, he's on 4th position, and then Vitaly Bernatsky, 3.5 out of 7, and then 3 players, Suyarov, Vahidov, and Nigmatov are having 3 out of 7. Uh, Robert Raka doesn't play well. He's having 2 out of 7, and Tohir Jonova is having half point. Of course, all the players are super strong, well prepared, and yes, very much we can understand. Let's see the futures. And yes, two players are leading, and seems like the main race will be among them. Ansat Aldiar and Artur Davtyan, they are having 5.5 out of 7. And Shirohlan Talibov, but he's still playing his game. No, I very much apologize. Maybe if Talibov manages to score some points in this game, in this round, he can try to catch the leaders. And then 3.5, 3, 2.5, 1.5. Of course, players with that 3.5 points again can catch, but it is going to be a little bit harder. Let's move. I think we are about to start, if I'm not mistaken. All rounds. Yes, yes, we are. We are about. Yes, I will stick to some of the games. So depends. Yes. Mostly it will be the rating favorites or leaders. Of course, we will check the top board. Bishop c3 b takes c f5, and here h4 is possible move, e4 is possible move as much as I know. h4 h5 is very good. h4 knight f6 h5 as much as I know. And Hikaru is playing. Denis Lazavik is playing. Haik Martirosyan. Teodoro is playing f3 f3, aiming some e4 knight f6 bishop g5 d6. Hikaru does not afraid of any bishop f6 e takes f. Yes, hard to say. I don't like this f3. Of course, it restricts the knight. It doesn't let knight to jump to e4. Queen a e5. Typical move. Queen d2, knight d7. Still, white should be very much okay. Even maybe knight is coming to e2. You can go short castle. Knight jumps to f4. And I don't think any tactical ideas are working here. So black queen a4, yes, classy move. I haven't seen. I have not seen this classy move of queen a4. Bishop f6 it takes f, but anyway, you are going to lose your pawn. Um, Knight c4. Yes, short castle. Ricardo does not rush. Short castle. e4. Yes, let's see how is. Oh, oh they already played so many moves. Yes, but I noticed that Denis Lazavic is playing some very important lines. 94 isn't working because of rook d8 check. Very tricky move by uh, young prodigy. You should play some rook b6, c5, or c4. Maybe rook b6. Because I don't see any point keeping the rook on c5. Rook b6, bishop f6 is not that dangerous. You can, of course, get the pawn on h7 for free. You can go rook d8 and maybe rook g8. King a1, trying to stop rook c3 ideas. So rook b8. Now threatening some knight e4. Bishop f6, g takes f. Yes, bishop h7, so you don't have time for f5, but I would go king e7. I would go king e7, and, I wouldn't say black is having much much problems. Of course, white is better side of this position, but should not be easy at all. I can go f5, king f6 whenever I want. I can go rook h8. At the moment, I'm not sure. Yes, f5, rook d2, f4. No, black should not be worse. And Hikaru is of course completely winning. You are down a pawn with the white pieces. You have only 48 seconds against Hikaru, who is having almost 2 minutes. And honestly speaking, objectively, position looks completely lost for you. I'm about to go king g6. I like Hikaru's. Yes, 93, game over. Game over. Hikaru is going to win, of course. And yes, as we can see, this is super complicated. Sin Sanft. Yes, let's see how is Haik Martirosyan doing. Haik is having black pieces and against Danilo Brozzi from Italy. Yes, it seems like material equality, but Haik is having winning position. He's having close to 1 minute 38 seconds, and opponent does not have any time, only 18 seconds, 17 seconds. Yes, and position honestly looks completely winning because you cannot stop queen b2 checkmate. Yes, and Haik is winning with the black pieces. Let's see, Teodoro has won already against Laurin, and still position remains complicated, but most likely Denis Lazavic is going to win because he's ahead on clock and he does have this annoying check of c2. I would go check, and yes, this is not great. Yes, I don't believe here objectively black is having any real chances. Yes, this is lost. This should be lost. And seen Sean, I don't know, maybe you read Sean. Yes, he resigned, and what are we having? Any surprises? Andreikin won. Alexis Sarana is playing at the moment. Alexis Sarana, Fabiano is playing. Fabiano won against Daniil Kaminsky. Alexander Bortnik won. Look at this. Vipranav is playing. Matthias Blubaum is playing. Alexis Sarana is better. Of course, he is the better side, but I wouldn't say much. I wouldn't say he's having much, and objectively, this should be enough for a draw. Though I like last couple of moves, but still. Yes, and he's losing. Bishop e8 and rook h4 is coming. Alexis Sarana is winning, completely winning position. Yes, the rest should be more matter of skills. Hmm, you know, yes, Alexis Sarana won, and Vipranav won. Matthias Bilbaum also won. I think we are about to start the second round. And Hikaru is playing. Yes, we do have many high-rated strong players. Hikaru is playing Nitish Belurkar, very strong international master from India. Eric Rosen is playing Denis Lazavic. Ike Martirosyan is playing Andrei Yermolaev. Li Shilong, current master from China, is playing Nicolas Teodoro. Dmitry Andreikin is playing Pyotr uh, Piesik. Fabiano is playing Alisher. And let's see. Yes, c6, b5, d5, b takes, maybe even c takes d. Hikaru first goes 92, bishop b6. Looks, honestly speaking, looks great. Bishop g7, I don't see any small issues. Rook fc1, I would go with the white pieces. Hikaru goes rook b7 with the idea of fb1. Yes. Yes, knight f5, knight is coming to d4. You can go rook fb1, knight d4, queen d1. You can also go e3. No, but e3, d4 is coming. You should be rook d1. Oh, rook d1. Hikaru does not care about knight d4. He wants to play queen b2. Queen a5. Knight b3 by Hikaru. Queen a6, knight c5. Yes, where should I go? Maybe even after queen a6, Hikaru will go c takes d, knight takes d5. Let's see, this is my... Oh, I have seen this. I have seen this, dear friends. I have seen this. It's opening trap. And in one of his videos, Eric Rosen explains. So it does not work really. Like here you go knight c3, and then you go e4, and then you takes, and bishop c7, you threaten checkmate, and now bishop a6. Yes, but look at this. In a 3-minute game, he's already almost 1 minute ahead, which is something, you know. And objectively, position is better. I think no doubt white is having better position. Yes, it was queen a6, takes, knight d4 is coming, but queen d6, maybe you should go back. Queen c5 looks even better. Queen a6, he goes. Another great move. No, I don't see any problems for international master. Yes, e4 d takes c. Hikaru will capture d takes c, d takes c. Because if you take bishop b2, I will go e takes f. I have knight d4, another crazy move. Ah, bishop b2, this I don't like. He could just go d takes c. Queen a4, quite interesting, quite interesting. Yes, very forcing, very interesting. Queen a4, rook a4, queen b2, queen d1, and queen d2, Hikaru plays. I have time to get the pawn on f5, and he goes bishop h3. Hikaru is trying from everywhere. Rook f6. This cannot be better for Hikaru, but he will definitely try. Bishop e5 is possible move. You can also move the queen, maybe. The queen b3 looks quite interesting, but you are going to lose your pawn on h6. You are going to lose your pawn on h6, which definitely, yes, queen takes h6, Hikaru goes. Again, this should be better position for black, but maybe not much. Queen a7, looking here, eyeing, yes, and I'm not sure what king d5, because knight b4 is coming. Knight b4, it's a challenge. It's a real challenge for Eric Rosen, because knight c6 from all um, views, angles, this position should be winning for white, because in a pawn endgame I'm having extra pawn, but at the same time I don't like king d3. Maybe he wants to go f3. You need to go f3. You need to go f3, and now c4, king c3. Yes, it makes some sense, but I don't like it. I don't like it. Maybe he started panicking. Yes, c4, he wants to go king, but he could go c3, but okay, after. No, now black isn't risking, because if black plays king c6 or king d6, black cannot lose this position. Yes, but Denis Lazarev goes f takes c g3. What if I capture, I go g3, but this is winning already. This can be easily be winning for Denis Lazarev, because I push my pawn to e2. I can start with h5, maybe h4, and then e3, e2. I get the pawn, and then king b4, king a4. And Denis without moving, and he goes. Denis. Oh, this is again complicated. This is again king c4. I'm having this crazy move. King b5 I'm having. And now c4, king b3, c5, a3, c6, a6. And yes, this is better position. And this is, oh, tricky move, king c6. I like it. I like it. Let's not forget that Eric Rosen is super fast player. Maybe not as fast as his opponent. Queen e5 and king e7 is the move. King e7 should be the move to play. I'm not sure why really. Queen d2, crazy move, super. And now king e7, but queen e3 is coming. Takes king f6. This is winning for Denis Lazarev, and no doubt he will win this position. Yes, Haik Martirosyan won against Andrei Yermolaev quite convincingly. Nicolas Teodorov won against Chinese Grandmaster Li Shilong. Dmitry Andreikin won against Pyotr. Uh, and Hikaru is still playing, and Hikaru is lost, but can his opponent will make a draw at least. Yes, Hikaru drew the game. I think the big result is Hikaru hasn't win his game. Fabiano just crushed. Alex Bortnik won against Rose or Rose Atwell. Andreikin won. Yes, and they are about to start. They are about to start another round. Let's move on. Denis Lazovic will be playing Matvey Galchenko. Cristopal Enriquez will be facing Haik Martirosyan. Nicolas Teodoro Rustamov. Andreikin is playing Nitsan Steinberg. Alexis Sarana against Mamikon Gharibian. Which game? Kirill Klyukin against Fabi. Alex Bortnik against Roman Nosach. Zbigniew Pakleza. Polina Shuvalova is playing e5. I think I analyzed this position very recently. Knight b6 is possible. Knight b6 is the move to go. Okay, let's see. Denis Lazovic is already having better position. And here, instead of going c takes d isn't the best. Queen g7 is the best. He goes this, queen a5, rook b1. And he's two pawns down, but of course, this is known. It's quite well known. Matvey Galchenko is in trouble. You cannot really get my pawn on e5 because in the end, queen g7 is hanging. I have queen g3 standard move. And Enriquez Cristobal is playing Haik Martirosyan. And his pawn is under attack. Haik goes knight d4. He's aiming to go f3. Will white take on d6 or they will capture on d4? And knight d6. No, knight b5, knight b5, f3. What should I do? Should I go bishop f1 or should I play something else like what else? Hard to say. Yes, let's move on. And this is better position for Nicolas Teodoro. Pawn is under attack. f4, f6. Black is quite uh, fast attacking the pawn. Yes, your knight on d6 is seemingly well placed, and it is well placed, but I'm trying to go f6, bishop h3. Yes, f takes c, bishop e6 is coming. I have knight c5, but always b4. Wow, I like it. Knight f8, but I can go knight f8, but knight f8 means that my pawn on e5 is not under attack. Yes, he's going knight f8, rook c1, rook c7 should be the move, no? Or maybe you can go before b5. Yes, rook d7. Now f5 ideas can be there, but maybe no need to go f5. Why do I weaken my e5 pawn? b4 I like very much before. b5 is coming. No, this is some advantage, maybe not completely winning. King is coming to e3, knight b7 isn't working. Bishop d5 you have, but you should always look for rook d5, bishop d7, king d4. And yes, we are here. And this is winning position for Nitsan Steinberg, completely winning position, I would say. No, but I wouldn't say completely winning. But yes, he had bishop f5. Here he could go. No, but queen f6, bishop h6. Why queen f6 and bishop h6? Bishop h6. Yes, Dmitry Andreikin is going to resign. Yes, it's a checkmate. Yes, Dmitry Andreikin has resigned. Something did not work for him. Maybe he missed something. And yes, Alexis Arana is playing against Mamikon Gharibian. Mamikon is having about 30 seconds more than Alexi. And this bishop c4, bishop e7. If you take bishop e6, I have knight. Yes, this is better position, but the main question is, yes, it is. It is very big advantage for black. You can go f6, e4. Knight e5 should be the move, or knight d2. He's considering, he's thinking. Alexis Arana is choosing. Oh, knight d4, knight f4. I forgot about knight d4, honestly speaking. Knight d3 maybe. Yes, knight d3, rook d2, rook d8. Knight c6 is coming. Be careful. Rook c8, rook d7. Mamikon is playing knight f5. And Alexei is having only 40 seconds, not more than 40 seconds. Rook d8. I like rook d8, rook d1, g6, knight h6. He could get the pawn. King g7 is good. Knight g2. Alexis Arana is always very tricky. f5. He has very unpleasant position. King f6. I like king f6. Just Getting the king closer. You can push g5. All pawn endgames are lost for white. G5. Knight d3 I can easily take with the rook. I can also take with the pawn. Knight e2. Alexei is playing king e5. Maybe it's the right time to go king e5. Don't push f4. Knight e5. Rook endgames. But yes, he's keeping the rooks, of course. We fully understand Alexei, but this is lost. And f4 is coming. Knight c3. e3. e3 should be the knight b2. Great move. Rook f2. Rook f2 tactical idea should be working. e3, not the classy move. Rook takes h2. This is over. This is over for Alexis Sarana. He doesn't have time. He doesn't have any position at all night before. But again, Alexei does not resign. And yes, knight is coming to e4. King f3. g4 looks quite tempting, but Mamikon pushes. King f6. The rest should be easy, but you never know. You never know. Which strategy should you take? Knight d6 looks, knight d5, knight g4. Mamikon is trying, Mamikon is playing. Knight f7 is great move, knight d5 check is great. g4 he's playing, he's trying to fix, and h4. You can go, you can always get the knight on e4. He's trying, he's going h4. This should be the right way. And knight c6, king e6, not much left. Yes. So Mamikon Arabian won with the black pieces against Alexis Sarana. Very unfortunately for Alexei. Start of the game, we haven't seen it, but start of the game was not going, uh, didn't go well for him, and later on he did not manage to save the game. And Fabiano won against Kirill Kryukin, Alex Bortnik as well, and Nico Theodor also. Wow. Mike Mertesian lost against Enriquez Cristobal. And let's see, Denis Lozovic crushed. Wow. I would very much love to have. Oh, they already started. Sergei Zhigalko is playing. Fabiano is playing. Sergei Sklokin is playing. Vipranav, Matthias Blubaum against Mamikon Arabian. Mamikon, you can do it. Hikaru is playing against Sirin Galyani, female chess player from India, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Sergei Zhigalko is playing this line, 97 by Denis Lazovic. Yes, I have noticed that Dennis knows a lot of different lines. Maybe because of his games, online games, because he doesn't play much over the board. Yes, c5, typical idea, typical shot in the center. He takes the queen d6. You can take, you can also keep the queens. Yes, takes bishop e3. I like knight d2 is coming. Yes, this shouldn't be much for white, but I like having white pieces. You can go rook fd1, rook c1, maybe knight e1, knight e3, maybe knight d2, knight c4. But this bishop most likely will come to a6. You have also knight a4 ideas. Yes, I think this is too slow, stopping bishop g4 and a4. Maybe later on you will regret not placing your knight on a4, but bishop e6, Dennis knows. For example, if I go knight g5, bishop g5, bishop g5, this cannot. I completely forgot that both players are from Belarus. Yes. And Sergei Zhigalko very recently won a tournament on Lichess titled Arena. Yes, rook a5 still maybe, very symbolically better for white, but I wouldn't say. Bishop b4 is possible move. You can move your knight to e2. I would go knight e2. You can also go knight d1. I like knight d1, but against Denis Lazovic, knight e2 is better move to play to just get rid of rook d8, rook d1. Some problems are there. Another classy move is going knight f8. Knight is coming to d7 because knight hasn't and wasn't doing much on G6. And Nicolas Teodoro, he's having a better position against a player from Azerbaijan, CM, candidate master. Yes, what if Queen h3? Why Queen h3 isn't working? So he wants to play knight f4, knight f4, bishop f4, because otherwise I don't see any point. Rook d3. Maybe rook d3, he takes d. No, knight f4, knight f4, bishop f4, but and d3. No, but f takes c. Rook e3. Will he take rook e3 or will he try g5? Maybe g5 is better move. Because rook e3, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Still, position remains quite complicated. Fabiano is playing uh, against Cristobal. Hmm, I wouldn't say Fabiano is winning. I wouldn't even say Fabiano is better. Should I double my rooks? I think rook g7 or rook g5. No, 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 no. This I don't like. This cannot be good. Like you're having your rook on g file. Maybe he didn't like f3, knight g4. No, this is. I think I was thinking maybe. Sorry, Fabiano. But e4 pawn is hanging. I I forgot that. Pawn on e4 is under attack. Knight e3. Fabiano does not care much. Bishop c1. He wants to go knight f5, but knight f5 does not checkmate. King d7 is coming. And I'm getting my king on c7, which is bishop f7. Fabiano does not care. He's threatening bishop e8, queen f7, rook d1. Yeah, super interesting and super fast. If you're enough fast, then please join this tournament. I myself, I decided that for today at least, I'm not enough fast. Yes, I'm in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Yeah, oh, bishop e8, queen f7, and what's the winning move? Rook d1, bishop d2, queen a2. No, queen a2, queen f6 you can take, but Fabiano maybe he wants to play knight d6. Knight d6 should be the winning move, Fabiano. Yes, of course he sees and he goes. Knight b7 is a checkmate and Fabiano checkmates. And Sergei Sklokin, he lost against Alex Bortnik. Yes, Alexis. And yes, Nitsan Steinberg, he lost against Vipranov. Mamikon Gharibian is playing against Matthias Bluebaum, super complicated, but maybe better. Oh, g5, he finds this super annoying move, bishop h7, queen d2, but this Matthias isn't going to make a draw. Should you go knight f4? Oh, Matthias. Mamikon actually had here knight f6, but he bishop d3 he could go, but this is already not that easy to spot, king h7. He could go knight f6, king h6, but still, was he winning? Was he better? It was complicated, seems like. Nicolas Teodoro, he won his game. Sergei Zhigalko drew. And we are moving to the next round. We are moving to the next round. And Nicolas Teodoro, Fabiano is playing Tuan Minle, Irakli Tabatadze. Vipranav is playing Narva. Mai Hikaru is playing against Parham. Dmitry Andreikin is playing against Denis Lazavic. What a pairings. Alexis Sarana is playing Sergei Zhigalko. Renato Terry is playing Milos. Okay, let's see. Oh, what has happened to Blue Bomb's connection? Yes, let me very briefly check my Twitch. Hello and very big greetings to my Twitch viewers. Mhm, mhm. Yes, he has gone for this G4. This is quite well known. And if I'm not mistaken, Matthias Blubom lost against Magnus Carlsen, one of the games in one of the rounds in Title Tuesday. Yeah, with that they are having super complicated. I wouldn't say White has achieved much. C5 is not that dangerous. I have Bishop E7. Yes, Queen E7, there is C5, H5 he tries, Queen D8, he moved Rook G1, Queen E8. So last three moves of Matthias has been Queen E8 and Queen D8. Let's see what is going on here. And seems like Fabiano is having very slightly unpleasant situation. Queen B3 I like against Fabiano. He's trying. Let one mean. Yes, Queen B3. I can take A takes B. Queen A6. Another classy move by Fabiano. Oops. Oops. Yes. Yes. Mouse slip and Vietnamese Grandmaster resigned. Alex Bortnik is Rook F7. Very classy move. Very beautiful tactical idea. King F7. I do have Queen H5, and I think checkmate is almost coming. But maybe no need to give up. Maybe no need to give up. You can go Knight G5, though Knight G5, Rook G7. No, this shouldn't be working. But where is the punishment? What's the punishment? Should I go Queen H5? But G6 is coming. Maybe Queen F3, but Queen F3 I'm not sure because what if Bishop E6? How are you going to... yes, yes, I'm taking my words back. Position still remains very complicated. Yes, G6, Knight G6, Queen H5. He's aiming for Knight G6, Queen H5, I guess. This is the point. This should be the point, and he does play Queen H5 or not. Oh, he goes. He goes Queen H5. Of course, if you take, I will take Queen H7. And later on, Rook F1 check can be annoying, but seems like he has seen that Rook H8, Rook F1, in the end, Bishop F6, Rook takes F6 is coming. Well, Alex Bortnik, yes, Queen H7, Queen H7, this is maybe Bishop F6, Rook F1, yes, Rook F1, and if you go Rook H6, yes, I meant this line, Rook F6, King F6, Knight H5. Seems like at least I'm getting your knight on G6, but seems like even more. Knight f4 takes, rook takes f4 should be the move. Yes, this looks very unpleasant. d5 is coming, knight h5 is coming, rook f6 is coming. Whoa, like what a strange moves. Pointless move. And I think Blue Baum is bishop e4 is his idea. Objectively, game should end in a draw, but Yes, I think game will end in a draw. How long can you repeat? Oh, Matthias Bluban won, Alex Bortnik won, Viprana won. But it is super interesting that so three grandmasters. Narva, she won three grandmasters in a row. Vietnamese grandmaster, Armenian grandmaster, and Polish grandmaster. Hikaru has won against Parham. Dmitry Andreikin lost against Denis Lazavic. Alexis Sarana lost against Sergei Zhigalko. And Renato Terry has lost. Renato Terry has lost. This was round five. Libaum is playing Fabiano very soon. In candidates, they will be playing each other. But before playing there, at the moment, they are playing on chess.com, bishop d7, knight f5, because f3 is not possible. F3 is one of the ideas to go e4. Yes, because b4 is quite difficult to play. Queen b3 and b5. Queen c2, I guess queen c2 is a very logical move to play. Rook c8. With the possible ideas to go c5 at some point. Now c5 should not be working because of pawn on b5 is being under attack. Knight g5, knight g3. Will white play knight e4? I guess bishop e4 is the most logical move to play. Yes, it's taking with a knight and then bishop e2. Why not bishop b1? Rook c1, rook c5 maybe, rook c3. Another rook is coming to c1, and then rook c3, knight b6. We can try queen c2, yes. Fabi goes g6, knight f1, knight is coming to d2. Knight d2, I would go knight d2. b4 ideas are not very serious. So at the same time you are, with the black pieces I meant. Knight d3, rook a8, I'm not sure because takes, how are you going to capture? Rook c5, rook a3, d takes c, then you have your own weak, no, b4 I don't like, b4, this is improvement for Fabi. Now another rook is coming to a8, if you go rook d4 then rook a8, in c1, still, yes, black is threatening queen a7, bishop d1, bishop c2 maybe. I think something like that white will try, but in the end you are losing because black is having idea of rook c3. Goes this, queen a7, he wants to take rook d5 at some point. Oh, the idea is being that b5 is hanging. Rook a3 takes, bishop b5, but Fabi wants to play rook c3, of course. Fabi is playing rook c3, very unpleasant position. Matthias himself created problems for him, but maybe not enough for. I have rook c4. I have rook c. No, rook c4. What am I saying? My idea was to trade the rooks, but I'm losing pawn on c6. Rook c1. Rook b6. C5 is possible, but maybe no need to rush. Fabi goes c5 anyway. Bishop b6. Fabi plays. Yes, and I'm not sure how am I going to handle all my pawns. Rook h1. Should I play or bishop f5? He plays bishop f5, h4. Should I start pushing my pawn? Yes, bishop d5, c3. Oh, he forgot. He forgot and he is going to lose. Plebom forgot about rook d1 and this is completely lost and he will be losing. Alex Bortnik is probably not worse, maybe even better, and I'm not sure about winning, but probably winning, yes. Probably winning, and you should play king a4. You should go king a4. Why not king a4? Rook c5 should be the idea because you otherwise my pawns are faster. My pawns are faster and I'm faster. Yes, king e3, but I can take the pawn. I can take the pawn easily. King b5, king c5. Yes, he is not sure where to place the king. King a5, king d4. And what is not worse? What is not worse? Alex Bortnik forgot about something. And now he should be dreaming. Yes, now he should be dreaming about draw. But of course, no chance. Position is completely lost. Will his opponent, and they are about to flag each other. They are about to flag each other, and rook d2, king d7. It is coming. Rook d6 first. White is having even more time, and he should be completely winning. And Vipranov won his game. Sergei Zhigalko lost. Sergei Zhigalko lost against Hikaru. Denis Lazavic won against Nicolas Teodoru. And Letuan Min won against Nguyen Ngok. And Fabiano, of course, won. I would like to see this game between Denis Lazavic because seems like more or less some position. Great. Yes, at the moment only two players, Fabiano and Vipranav, are having 6 out of 6. Two players are having 5.5, Denis Lazavic and Hikaru Nakamura, and a lot of players, maybe even close to 15, but probably less than 15 players are having 5 out of 6. Oh, Hikaru is streaming, yes. Hikaru is streaming. I think this can easily be personal record of Denis Lazovic, 3,300. I cannot. David Shengelia is playing. Wow, young Armenian prodigy is playing against Pranav Anand. Let's see the tournament standings. Uh, After 7 rounds, we have only one player, Lalit Babu, 6.5 out of 7. And then 5 players are having 6. Among them, well-known players, David Shengelia, Pavel Sovinsky, Loic Travadon. Honestly speaking, I don't know Roman Dekhtiarov, but I know I played Jan Klimkovsky, I played Martins, Bruno, Andre, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Scotland, from Scotland. Gordon Frederick Waldhausen, Raja, Alwa Nurman, Pranasham. Yes, and Young Prodigy is having 5 points and he's playing against Pranav. Okay, I think next round will be starting very soon. 5 games to play. 5 games to play. We're starting another round? Not yet. Please, dear friends, if you do have any questions, I'm here to say my opinion. More than 800 people are viewing the games. Let me remind you that another one will start. Another one will start after 5 hours. And yes, we are starting. And Fabi is playing Vipranav. Hikaru is playing Denis Lazavic. Alex Borting against Enriquez Cristobal. And Nitsan against Matthias Bilbao. Let's go. I will stick to the leaders. E3, A3, bishop takes, pawn takes, I guess. And bishop E7. A very interesting decision, a possible decision. D5, knight F3, B6, and C5 are possible moves. Knight E5, F4, yes, C5, F4. Queen F3, bishop E1, with ideas to get the bishop on H4. Rook E8, bishop H4. Queen F3, Queen H3 is coming. Knight F8, you can get your knight on F8. Rook D1 is possible move. Bishop H4 is possible move. Fabiano goes bishop H4. Maybe knight G6 you can try. Attacking the bishop on h4, but anyway, white is having better position and maybe even massively better position because it is super difficult for black to create any counterplay. And 94. I just said about for black being difficult to create any counterplay, and Pranav created something. Rook d1. Knight c3, b takes c is coming. What about f6? Fabi is not afraid of f6, but f6 most likely knight e4 will come, no? Takes and f6, knight g4. Fabi uh, retreats the knight, queen c7, c4, d takes c, bishop c4 is coming, yes. C takes d, c takes d, d takes c, knight e3 is coming. Oh, e4. What about e4? What if I push my pawn to e4, f5? Of course, he wants to play f5, but knight e5, f takes c, bishop e4. And knight g6. Pranav is trying to stop in this way. You need very much king h1 move, I guess, with the white pieces queen g3 Fabi plays. But after f5, he takes f, bishop d5 ideas aren't coming with the tempo. And maybe h4, why not? h4, h5 looks super tempting, and Fabi, of course, goes. Fabi, of course, plays. You can try h5. You can try h5. You want to go h6. You are basically forcing your opponent to play h6, and after h6, maybe e5 even. Maybe even e5 can work. But e5, f takes c, what's the point? Knight e5, I'm not sure you are really checkmating me. And then if you the rook c1 is great move. You can also knight h2, Fabi is super classy. But f5, now f5 should be played. Otherwise, if I'm getting my knight on f3, then you are going to f5, of course, f5, e5. Yes, and now bishop f5, but I don't think Fabi has gained or increased his advantage. Bishop f7 position remains super complicated, queen g4, and d3. What's the tactical justification if I just get your rook with the rook? Maybe in the end, Pranav wants to take on a3 with the queen after queen c5 check. Yes, he's taking. Of course, still Fabiano should be better, but I wouldn't say because my knight on f8 is. Yes, this is better and much better, but in a blitz game, mm, anything and everything is possible. Bishop c4 attacking the rook. Attacking the rook. Rook d1. Rook f7. I like how Pranav is handling the position. You don't have rook d8, f5, Fabi plays f5, and late 26 is coming. Queen e3, but bishop e2 is a threat. And yes, queen c4. I think Pranav can resign. Maybe he will continue. Will he or not? Yes, he decided to continue, but not much. Not much to play because knight is coming to f3. Queen is coming to d4, maybe even. Queen b3. Knight e5. Knight f6. Knight g6, maybe. And then e7. Knight h5, maybe. Queen g3. Queen f4. Not a classy move, but still, This is of course lost. Fabi won his game. And then Hikaru. Denis Lazavic won against Hikaru. Wow. Alex Bortnik won. He basically crushed. Matthias Blibon won. And Mamiko Harigan lost against Vietnamese Grandmaster. Reza Mahdavi won against Alex Rustemov. Zbigniew Pakleza drew. Roman Nosach won. CM won against Param Masudlu. And then Sergei Zhigalko won against Rustamov. Matvey Kalchenko lost to Ike Martirosyan. Nicolas Teodorov lost against Maxim Dubnevich. And another round is starting. Fabiano is playing Denis Lazavic, and I think uh, I think Denis can surprise. On second board, Letuan Min is playing Alex Bortnik. Third board, Vipranav is playing Reza Mahdavi. And Matthias Blubam is playing Roman Nosach. Hikaru is playing against Donar Davudov. Mhm. Let's go. This is the position. And h3, b6, c3. Maybe bishop a6 is possible. Queen c2. Well, Fabiano take on c4. No, he goes h6. Useful move. And I don't see any ideas for Denis Lazavic. He's just making useful moves, and now they take c. Knight e6. After knight f8, Fabiano took on c6 and got the knight on e6. a5. Not really threatening a takes b, but maybe in the end. And trying to get the pawn on a6. Rook a2, trying to double the rooks along a file. And now rook a1 looks super tempting. Takes rook a7, but rook b7. Rook a6. g3, trying to get the king on g2. Knight g5 ideas are there, but no, I don't recommend because of bishop takes g5. No one is going to trade the knights. No one is going to trade the knights. If you go h5, I can use knight g5. Fabi is going knight g5, bishop g5. Maybe Fabi wants to play. Oh, I thought maybe h takes g and then trying some rook h8, bishop f6, but this doesn't look great. Um, Honestly speaking, I'm not big fan of the idea of trading the. Can you make please? Thank you. Rook a2, rook d3, rook d2 is coming, rook d2, knight takes d2, and knight f3. Yes, some very small advantage should be there for white, but nothing. I don't believe. I think players are because generally I'm thinking that this knight is slightly better piece than bishop on e7, maybe more active. And yes, we can see that Dennis is trying. Of course, not much to try because when you try to activating your queen, then always some squares are there for black's queen to enter b5, queen e6. Of course, Fabiano knows queen b5 is also, no, queen b5, queen e4 is coming, queen d3. And maybe now I can try bringing my knight to d5, knight d2, queen d5. This This is getting better and better for white. Bishop f6. 91 again. He was most likely checking Fabiano. Bishop e7, 93, bishop d6. Of course, Fabiano 91. Bishop is. Ah, yes. I think Lazovic did not expect. He wanted to continue, but. And what are we having? What are we having? Rook b5. Why not rook b7? I'm not sure. I think rook b7 would have been way stronger, much stronger. But anyway, this position should be easily winning for you. You can take. Yes, this is completely winning for Vietnamese Grandmaster. The rest shouldn't be very hard, very difficult. Yes, you keep pushing some of your pawns. Now he's threatening rook d7. Now he's threatening rook d7. g4 is coming, g takes, g takes, and now you can start pushing the other pawn. Too many pawns are there. h6, I like this. a6 you can try from everywhere. Yes, you can take. You can even go rook d6, c7. He goes first c7. This is game over. Yes, it takes a6, a8. This is game over. It goes rook c5. This is just game over, of course. And Pranav is completely winning. Pranav is completely winning because he's getting the pawn on g6. Of course, Grandmaster from Iran, Reza Mavdavi is trying. Yes, his only hope was bishop g1. But you know, maybe some connection issues, some other issues. And yes, checkmate on next move. Checkmate is coming and Pranav is winning. Matthias Blibaum also won against Roman Nosach. And let's see the. Yes. Let's go. Fabiano is playing Hikaru. Matthias Blibaum is playing Denis Lazavic. Vipranav is playing Letuan Min. And Aikmar Teresian is playing Sergei Zhigalko. Let's go. Bishop d2, c5, takes, g3. Bishop g2. Of course, very soon, in the middle of March, they are going to play in the candidates against each other, but at the moment, during Title Tuesday or Title Thursday, knight c2, knight is coming to e3, well-known idea. Knight is coming to e3, and also at the same time you are attacking this pawn on b4, b takes a, b takes a. You can of course place your rook on b file and attack this pawn on b6. I think they played it against each other maybe more than 1,000 games. Queen c7, and how do we continue? Rook b1. Yes, if you take, I can take with the knight, because in the end you are going to end up with this b6 and d6 targets. Yes, I would move my rook from f1, maybe to c1 or d1, maybe d1. A d5 idea is also possible, but quite questionable. I don't think you really need. Uh, Fabiano is taking his time, and he goes d5. Knight e7 is not working because of the pawn. And knight e7, why knight e7 isn't working? Queen g5 was g6 and f4. Yes, I very much like this. I very much like this because Fabiano went d5, having ideas to go queen e3, attacking the pawn on b6, and also to go queen g5. And now f4. Of course, by pushing f4, you aren't going to checkmate in a few moves, but at least you have many unpleasant threats, including f takes c, including knight h6 check, including queen h6 ideas, and rook along f file can create some very unpleasant threats. And knight h5, Hikaru is playing. This is already super suspicious. This is already super suspicious, but you never know. You never know. Hikaru, bishop f3 looks quite tempting. Why not? Bishop f3, Fabiano plays, and let's say if queen h6 I can go, and Fabio of course goes queen h6, g takes f, I can easily take bishop takes h5. I think we are going to see some g takes f, and then queen c5, queen e3 maybe. No, but this is lost. King h8, another move which I don't understand. Rook takes f5. No, why not queen? Ah, queen g7, so b6 is falling. Oh, yes, Fabiano is crushing. Fabiano rook f6 is also coming. Rook b6, knight d5. No, knight d7. No, just knight d7, game over. Takes, rook d8, rook a6. Oh, most likely Hikaru will resign already here. Yes, and Hikaru resigns. And what are we seeing? Matthias Blubaum is playing Denis Lazavic, and this is probably better position for Blubaum. And yes, Blubaum is better. Blubaum is better, but not much. I wouldn't say Blubaum is massively better. White should be very much careful. White should be very much careful. Queen d2 he plays, which seems like working. Can I go rook f1? Can I go rook f1? Because knight f3 seems like I'm just taking rook f3. I think rook f1 is super important move to play. Maybe I'm missing something, but I'm not sure what exactly I'm missing. What a strange move of king h1 instead of rook. Maybe I was missing d5. d5 super tempting. Rook e5. d6 you cannot play. Rook f8 he goes. I'm not sure. Knight d6. Very beautiful, very beautiful. This is going to be game over. Matthias is not sure how to play. G3 maybe you can try. D6. Should you try D6 and then D7, G3? Of course, first he captures to not let his opponent King G1. Still, your king is in some mating net. Wow, wow, Dennis does not see any moves. No, Dennis is losing. Dennis is losing. Yes, against Matthias you cannot. You don't have any real chances against Matthias Bluebone. And Matthias won against Denis Lazavic. We have Pranav is playing and Pranav is not winning. Objectively, it's a drawn position, but he's trying. He's trying, and I would yes, and draw because of maybe yes, threefold repetition. And Haig Martirosyan has won against Sergei Zhigalko, and seems like quite convincingly. Yes, this was This was the position, but exactly this position doesn't look that easy. And another round, another game, another round. And we have Fabi against Ike Martirosyan. We have Tuan Minle against Matthias Blubaum. We have Denis Lazovic against Vipranav. Dmitry Andreikin against Alex Portnik. And Reza Mahdavi against Alexis Sarana. Hikaru is playing against Matvei Kalchenko. Let's see. After some opening moves, players are thinking knight c3, queen d8, and which move will Fabiano play? g3, most likely bishop e7. I'm expecting bishop e7, black to play, because b5, b6. Black is playing b6, h4, with the ideas to go h5, h6, if h5, then knight e7, bishop g2, bishop b7, knight e5 maybe. Yes, if black manages to get the knight on f5 and bishop on e7, then black is even maybe better. Yes. Will white go knight e5 or bishop f4? And I guess knight f5 should be the move. I guess knight f5 should be the move. Rook a7. Hike is playing some very deep idea. Rook a7. He doesn't show his intention. g4 trying to take control over f5 square. And black is going knight d4, knight takes d4, and now white c takes d, knight e4, knight d5 should be the move. Knight d5 should be the move, otherwise some problems are there, but knight d5, maybe bishop e5, I'm not sure. Bishop e5, f6, bishop g3. Bishop b4. Knight d6 is there or not? Knight d6 is not there. Rook is under attack. You have knight d6, bishop d6, so c3. What is this? D takes c, b takes c. So if I take bishop c3, then in the end, this rook e6 is coming. Bishop e7. Black is going bishop e7, and what will white do? c4 or queen b3? Queen b3 short castle. I think this should be the right time for black to go short castle, for Hike to go short castle. Yes, and he plays short castle. What's the idea after c4? How does he rook d1? Because c4 most likely knight b4 was working. Because if knight c7, then I could take queen b6. And now should I go c4 or not? Should I go c4 or not? But black is already having ideas to go f5. Black is having ideas to go f5. And this looks double-edged. And maybe f5. Maybe f5 now. Does f5 work or not? But you have also e5. You can also go e5. And black is playing e5. d4. Should I try d4 or should I try something else? Knight f3. Wow, I haven't seen this. Knight f3. Knight is aiming to h4. Players are having almost the same time. Fabiano is 8.5 out of 9. Hike is 7 out of 9. So knight f3, knight is heading to h4, knight f4, Hike is going knight h4, takes bishop takes f3, takes. This I don't like much, but maybe Hike hasn't seen anything better than this, and he goes f5. He's trying to activate his pieces, and now bishop f6, d4, b5. Hike is trying to be very fast, and queen d5, rook d7. Maybe Fabiano hasn't seen this move. Rook e6 looks queen c8. Hike is playing very fast, attacking the pawn on c3, rook d3. White plays rook d3, bishop g5, attacking the pawn, and bishop e4, f3, rook takes f3, bishop f6. Not much time for for players. Queen h5, rook c7 is working. Rook c6, I can take queen f7. And now which move? Queen c5, maybe queen e6. White is of course trying to trade the queens. Queen d6 maybe. And eventually takes queen d5. What is happening now? Queen d5. Will he take f takes c? He hasn't. No, 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 no. I think this is my fault. It was my mistake. So players aren't having any time. Rook a8, rook e8. Black has all the chances to. And now black is even better. Now black is even better. And black has won. Haig Martirosyan has won with the black pieces against Fabiano Caruana. And yes, throughout the game he had unpleasant position, but in the end he managed to trick. And we have draw between Letwan Min and Matthias Blubaum. And Denis Lazovic won against Vipranav. Dmitry Andreikin won against Alex Bortnik. And Reza Mahdavi won against Alexis Sarana. Today's tournament isn't going well for Alexis Sarana. And the final round. Final round. And let's see, we have Param Masudlu against Fabiano. We have Haik Martirosyan playing against Matthias Blubaum. Denis Lazovic against Letwan Min. Dmitry Andreikin. Hikaru is playing against Dmitry Andreikin. And Roman Nosach is playing Reza Mahdavi. Let's go with this. Yes, English opening. And now h4. With the ideas to go h5. I takes d, maybe h5, maybe Fabi wants to play h5, queen d4 and f6. Fabi is playing f6. I don't like this much. And now knight h4. Knight is coming to f5. Yes, I like white's position. Knight h6. Fabi is trying to stop queen e4 ideas, because if queen e4, I guess f5 is working. And knight h6, very classy move. Knight f5, knight f5, bishop takes f5, maybe even d6 I have. Yes, d6. g4, very classy move. Like needs to play some c6 or c5 and c5. How is Fabiano going to meet h6 ideas? I'm not sure. Maybe he wants to play h6 and then rook f7, bishop f8. Yes, he's of course going h6. Bishop d2, rook e8, rook g1, bishop f8 is coming. Of course, along g file you are not going to get checkmated, but always e4, e5 ideas can be there. I like queen e7, queen e4. Fabi plays queen d7, even better move because e4 never works. Queen a4, queen e7 can be there. Yes, and this is the main difference between top players or strong grandmasters and um, because doesn't matter what do they play. Bishop e5. Bishop e5 should be the move. Queen e6. I'm not sure about queen e6, but he could have gone bishop e5, but yeah, start of the game, I'm very much sure it was close to winning for Parham, but he managed. Very strong grandmaster, very strong chess player, no doubts, no questions. But doesn't matter what Fabiano does and play. At some point, he is. Yes, queen takes d5 should be completely winning. No, queen d5, rook f6, king f5. Yes, Fabiano goes and maybe now check and then bishop takes f6. I'm expecting this. Bishop f6, yes, takes, and king e7 or king d7. Yes, this is completely winning for Fabiano. Rook g6. Start of the game was very bad for Fabi, but he tricked. He outplayed. He saw some better moves. But still, Param is trying maybe before, yes, before Fabiano pushes b4, and you cannot really take on g5 because whenever you take, you are going to lose some of your pawns. Queen d4 is coming. Yes, Param is going to lose very, very unfortunately. Param is going to lose. Even maybe you can go queen h2 and then just sacrifice. No, Fabiano does not play with the fire. And what are we having? Wow, what happened here? And Heik Martirosyan lost against Matthias Bilbao. And Matthias had half point more than Heik. And Denis Lazavic won. And Hikaru won against Dmitry Andreikin. I think oh, so what are the so the final results are Fabiano and Matthias Blübaum, they are 9.5 out of 11. And then Denis Lazavic is 9 out of wow, it's it's just unbelievable. With the huge respect to all the participants and all players, like imagine you by defeating Roman Nosach, who is over 3,000 at CM. But how old is Roman? You are scoring 9 points and you are finishing fourth. Yes, I think Fabiano is the winner of the tournament, most likely. And then two players 9.5, two players 9, and then two players 8.5, and a lot of players actually 8 out of 11. Yes, it was super interesting. Only 25 views, which is not fair at all. Because I myself, uh, I just enjoyed watching, following how much stronger grandmasters, much higher rated grandmasters, and are playing chess. It's a great training for all of us, including myself, like seeing how fast they are, seeing how fast they are playing, how well they are playing. I would love to have skills of Denis Lazavic, Hagmar Teresian, Matthias Blubaum, yes, blitz skills, let one mean. I can name maybe another 20, 30 players from this tournament. Only from this tournament, of course. Parham, Fabi, Hikaru, Andreikin, Reza Mahdavi, another great player. Vipranov, Alexis Sarana. So last round, Alex Bortnik, uh, Cristobal Henriquez, yes. Milos is also very strong. Alexander Rustamov. Okay, super interesting. Somehow, if this tournament didn't go well for you, you have another 3.5 hours to play the next one, and maybe the early morning one I will be streaming as well. Depends if my wife allows me. Yes, no, most likely not. She's showing that. Mm, yes. Are we having any result? This is David Shengelia is having. I don't think white is better. No, white cannot be better, right? No, it's equality. Another equality. Slightly better for white. I never heard FM from Scotland. Scotland Yard. Raja Ritwik is playing against Alua Nurman. Klemkowski. Martins Bruno. Tigran Bartumian is playing with the black pieces. I think he's trying to earn a norm. Just having great tournament, why not? What about Romanian Championship? Let's see if Deac is going to 9-time Dutch champion. Oh, I didn't know this. I didn't know this that Mr. Jan Timman he won Dutch championship 9 time. Yes, I was about to go here. Oh, he's dominating. Mr. Deak Bogdan Daniel is dominating. He has great position. Pair of bishops is about to go e5 if opponent allows. Yes, computer says if king h8 or bishop d6, I'm going to push e5. Yes, the other move is to go a5, but I can capture. Yes, second board, they ended in a draw. Yes, I think not much to play for black. White is having super solid position. Yes, black isn't going to win. At least black does not have anything against CM with the rating of 2205. Wow, 7 people are watching us. What is happening? Someone hacked my YouTube channel. So friends, Greetings from Kuala Lumpur. I have been analyzing, explaining games of from tournament titled Thursday. Yes, it was. Hello, hello. Yes, it's already 1:30 a.m. morning in Kuala Lumpur. Where are you texting us, watching us? Which country, which city? Oh, hello. So how should I be pronouncing? Because previously I remember the right way to pronounce the name of the country was uh, Turkey. But if I'm not mistaken, at least when I was living and working in Singapore, one of my students, he was 8 years old, and he told me, and it's my fault, I didn't know that the pronunciation of the country they changed. Because I think now you should be pronouncing Turkiye or Turkiya, maybe Turkiye. At least this is how my student explained me. Online? No, definitely. in- Hello from Kuala Lumpur, dear friends. Hello to everyone. Bev, what is happening? Yes, I finished my contract, as I already told to my some of my friends and some of my relatives. I have been living and working in Singapore last 15 months together with my wife. Yes, I finished my contract as a chess coach, as a chess teacher. Yes. And yes, what do you think? What would you recommend, dear uh, viewer? Would you recommend to continue? I'm sorry, my English isn't very good, so I did not understand everything, but I think it's now pronounced Tur Turkiye in English. No worries, no worries if your English is not very good, but at the moment I can see, I can read that you are writing and knowing English quite well. So no worries, no pressure. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, and I was wondering, should I switch to coaching or should I try? Should I give another try, you know, to play professionally? What would you suggest, dear viewer? Because about maybe 7, 8 people are watching us at the moment, and some of them definitely understand and speak English quite well, and I would like to know your opinion if you don't mind. If any of you at the moment uh, follows the stream, what would you recommend? If you were me, what you what decision would you take? Because yes, I have some other opportunities to continue being and working as a coach. And I can, of course, give another try, maybe 1 year or couple of years, and continue playing more professionally. I don't know, maybe 60 games per year, or maybe even more, maybe less. And yes, I was thinking the other day, like in last 15, 16 months, I played only one classical tournament, and tournament went quite well for me because I scored 7 out of 9, and I came second. And I played some grandmasters, some well-known players, and very solid and strong players, and I scored 7 out of 9, and I'm quite satisfied with the result. But in this 16 months, I played only one standard classical tournament, and my rating is 2613, but I haven't played much. Of course, on a paper, I'm having 2613, but I don't think my real strength at the moment is 26 and above. I think that my real strength is not below than 2450. This somehow I feel. Definitely it should be higher than 2450. Yes, I think it depends on the economic situation and the individual. I think by saying economic situation, you mean earning, financial view and angle of the situation. Yes, of course, depends because by coaching, you are you have your fixed salary, or you have your fixed income, and by playing you don't have anything guaranteed, you don't have anything fixed. And if you play well, you will make some money. If you don't play well, you will, in the end of the day, you will be complaining, of course. So uh, yes, it is yes, I was just thinking because I think one of my best qualities that I'm quite a realistic person. I'm not living in dreams, because I really feel that okay, on a paper I'm having 2613, but no way. You cannot compare myself with any active 26 player because I haven't played last 16 months very actively. Of course, this doesn't mean that I wasn't following the tournaments, the games. I wasn't studying anything. Of course, I have been doing. I was regularly following some of the tournaments, and some of the games, analyzing with engines and playing a lot of online. Yes, I wouldn't say very much, but I played quite constantly some online events to keep some form. I could uh, I could have played much more than I was playing, but still, I played enough. But anyway, I have a feeling that I'm at the moment. 25 plus player, 25 plus player, uh, and comeback can be really difficult. I don't think I missed much of theoretical developments because, as I said, I have been studying and analyzing many tournaments and most of the games from that tournaments. But at the same time, I'm experiencing a lack of practice, which is very important for any professional chess player. Practice is super important. Okay, dear friends, this is just shortly about my thoughts. Uh, Hello, only Simon 8675. How are you? From which country, from which city are you messaging us? Messaging, texting. Wow, 12. What is happening? Wow, from Turkey too. Oh, wow, 12. What is happening? I was about to end the stream, dear viewers, but just I never seen in my streams 12. Only once I remember that probably was dream, because I remember once it was it was 800 plus 5. Can you imagine? 800 plus live. Oh, this is my first time seeing your channel, and after briefly glancing at it, the videos look really good. As someone who is been stuck at around 22 ratings on leeches, I hope I can improve. We love chess. Wow, super. No, of course my videos, I'm not going to to say that my videos are the best. Of course not. Like many YouTube channels are there, and most of them are quite instructive and educational. But some of my videos, even the last one I posted maybe about 1 week ago, I very much recommend because it is about 30 to 40 minutes, but I'm showing some opening traps, opening ideas, which happened in my games. So it's not like I took from some old chess books. Yes, I played myself or some opponents played against me. Thank you very much for your words. Yes, yes. What else? Maybe we can see. Like at the moment, if you would say which game of Jan Timon do I remember? Honestly, I'm having major difficulties improving my chess. I need to consult someone. Do you provide paid or free consulting? You are very much welcome to ask your questions, please. If you have any, I think I will be staying another maybe 5-10 minutes and then I will finish the stream. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to text and I will give my best to answer. Yes, at the moment I have seen of course many of them, but I don't remember much. Maybe Yes, this is another bad side uh, of our game that when a legend or any chess player, um, very bad information is coming, then only then we remember about him. Yes, but this is usually like how life is going in our days. Can you teach us? Of course. I'm having some problems building a repertoire against d4. Do you have any recommendations for a good course system for 15? Wow, d4. Let's go to lichess. Let me open chessboard. Let me flip the board. d4. Against d4 you can go d5 and after c4, c6. Slav defense. Knight f3, knight f6, knight c3. And here you are choosing between d takes c4, e6, or even a6. I very much recommend this a7, a6 move. Possible move, very interesting move. You can also go d takes c. If opponent plays e3 or e4, you go b5. If opponent plays a4 to stop b5, you go bishop f5. e3, you go e6. Bishop takes c4, you go bishop b4. Short castle, short castle. d4, d5, c4, c6, of course c takes d, c takes d. It's better for opponent to play some knight c3, knight f6, c takes d, c takes d. Bishop f4, you go knight c6. e3 is the best because white just took the bishop out and now e3 is coming. I think a6 is one of the moves to play. Another move is to go bishop f5, of course. Slav defense. You can also go this g6. Knight c3, you have d5. Grunfeld. C takes d, knight takes d5 is coming. e4 you take, and now you don't play c5, you don't rush, you go bishop g7. But the next move should be c5. Don't castle short side, first you go c5. Knight f3, you go c5. You can also go bishop g7, e4, and now d6. King's Indian defense. You can try something more aggressive like c5, d5, b5. Benko Gambit. This one is very much possible and very interesting, a6. Oh, 15. What is happening? Like, dear friends, my YouTube is hacked, most likely. 15 people are watching us or some bots. Okay, d4, knight f6, c4, c5, d5, b5 is very interesting. C takes b, a6. And yes, Benko Gambit. Yes, you can go g6, knight c3, bishop g7, e4, d6. This is King's Indian. Hello, hi. You can also go d5, c takes d, knight d5. e4 is the main move. You go knight takes c3, b takes c, bishop g7. With the idea is to go c5. Another move, knight f6, c4 e6. And if opponent plays knight c3, knight f3, you go d5. If opponent plays knight c3, you are choosing between bishop b4, Nimzo, or you can go d5. C takes d, takes d. You have also this knight d5. Knight d5 is nothing. e4 you take and you go c5. Like knight f3 you take, you go bishop b4, you take, you go short castle. But white has some advantage, so I don't recommend much. Hello, I'm fine, thank you. What about you? So here you can take e takes d, now you go bishop e7, And after e3, you have this h6. Bishop f6, bishop f6. Bishop h4 is the main. If this, you go short castle. Bishop d3, you go c5. Knight e2, you go knight c6. Short castle, you take. Knight e4, you take, takes bishop d6. This is the game from last week of Bundesliga. Mr. Peter Heine Nielsen, long time coach of Magnus Carlsen, played against um, Grandmaster from Hungary, Kozak, Adam Kozak. Of course, the main move is being here in this position to go bishop h4. Anyway, you continue with short castle, bishop is coming to d3. So Slav defense, very much recommended. Benko Gambit, very much recommended. King's Indian defense, very much recommended. Nimzo or knight f6 and t6, very much recommended. I think this is all what I can say in about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, please, dear viewers, let me know from which country, from which city are you watching us. What about Slav defense plus g6, bishop g7? Okay, Slav defense. mhm. Let's say this. No, this is. If exactly here, then I don't recommend. I don't recommend. It is possible, but even if you get your bishop on g7, the main problem can be. But yes, nowadays even this is possible. How do you prepare for opening? Can you give tips to new players? Of course, I can give. Uh, I think this move is very much possible even here. Yes, look at this. Lavan Aronyan, Li Chao, Safar Li, and some other well-known grandmasters. No, but it's not recommended. It's not recommended. And the point is being because if I go bishop f4, maybe d takes c is working. Yes, of course, you will take d takes c. So if I try c takes d, you take c takes d. If I go bishop f4, because usually I want to get my bishop out to take control over this h2 and b8 diagonal and eventually play e3. But now, yes, this is the idea. Not knight h5, I go knight c6. Because I'm basically saying, okay, you want to go e3, please. And now after e3, knight h5 is coming. Bishop g3, I can take. Bishop g5, I can chase and take. Bishop e5, f6 is coming. Yes, if you try h3, which makes a lot of sense, you don't let any knight h5, your bishop will go back to h2, but I'm having my ideas like knight e4. I remember my friend Kirk Azarian when he was in Armenia, grandmaster from US, Armenian, of course. Um, and we played a friendly match and he was playing this g6. But generally, if you don't follow with something like this can be super annoying for you because your bishop on g7 doesn't do anything. Your bishop on g7 doesn't do anything. I can play h3, I can play bishop e2, short castle, and I'm having better position. Yes, here in this position, exactly here, g6 move I recommend. You can study. Because okay, computer says e3, bishop g7, bishop b2, but that is possible. If c takes d, c takes d, bishop f4. Yes, we go knight c6. Uh, yes, if you, how do I prepare openings? Very often, what can you do? Let's say you go this tournament to this tournament, and well-known French grandmaster Etienne Bacro, and you see, okay, he played Sicilian defense and he played Knight variation. He's well-known chess player, very strong grandmaster, and of course, if he plays some opening or some openings, it means that that opening has a very good reputation or it is standing quite well. Yes. And you can start picking up players and seeing what openings are they choosing, are they playing, and you just stick to that openings. You just copy from them. Or let's say another very much respected grandmaster, um, Boris Gelfand. Knight f3, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, d5, d4, bishop b4. Grandmaster Aram Hagopian, he chose Ragozin variation with the black pieces. Yes, well-known grandmaster, over 26 plus, and of course you can easily go bishop b4. With the white pieces, you are not sure what exactly to play. Queen a4 against Ragozin. And now e3. By playing queen a4, we are forcing opponent to get the knight on c6. And now bishop d2. Another move is to go queen c2 because your queen has done its job on a4 and now you should be retreating. So this takes and now bishop d6. Black is trying to prepare e5. Queen c2. White doesn't show their cards. Which side are they going to castle, short or long? And now e5. Takes, and short castle. And b6 with the ideas to go bishop b7 to get the bishop on b7. Now f4, very tempting move, very aggressive move. Bishop takes bishop b7. So white is having pair of bishops, but very unfortunately they have. If they would have pawn on f3, then I'm sure white is much better. But at the moment you are having ideas to get the knight on e4. So it was this, rook e8. Black does not care about bishop f6, queen f6, bishop h7 ideas. And now bishop e4. Very classy move, trying to trade the bishops. Now bishop e5, knight is under attack, knight c5. Rook d1, queen e7. If it is black to play, black easily can go f6 and then bring the knight back to e4. So this, knight e7, Mr. Boris Gelfand he took, takes, rook e8, black is doubling the rooks on e5 and the rook e5 is coming. Game ended in a draw. So in this way you can pick different chess players. For example, you like Magnus Carlsen, you like Fabiano, you like Hikaru. You can start seeing some of his games on chess.com or generally maybe in official tournaments, and then you just copy the opening. For example, what's the difference between 1200, 1500, and 2000 rated, or let's say, because 1500 maybe only sees that Hikaru only once in Title Tuesday played this opening or this line. 1500 or 1700 checks little bit deeper, uh, more games of Hikaru. And so the difference between 1500 or 1200 and 1500 or and 1700, that one of them barely remembers that, maybe Hikaru in this position plays this move. 1500 for sure knows that Hikaru exactly in this position in one of his games played that move. 1700 already knows that, Hikaru few times played that move in some of his games. 2000 rated player already knows that, This is the move Hikaru plays regularly. Already, maybe he even checked with engine, with computer, Okay, let's imagine this is the position, queen a4, knight c6, e3. And he knows that short castle is the move, and now bishop d2. So d takes, c takes, bishop d6, queen c2. He already knows some of the ideas that bishop went back to d6 to prepare e5. Thank you for teaching me. I hope your channel reaches great. Thank you very much for the wishes. Or another way, which uh, this one I heard from uh, Daniel Narodzitsky, and I of course recommend to all my viewers and generally you play on chess.com, and then after playing your game you can play three or five or I don't know any number of games, but just please review your games because you will see maybe not the entire game, the first 15 moves, 10 moves. Just see your before or until the very first or a major mistake, major blunder. And for the next game, you already know because you played, you reviewed your game, you know that, okay, already I had this position, I played this position, and this is the move I should follow. This is the move I should stick. I think in this way you can improve quite easily. Even many well-known grandmasters, high-rated players, they are also doing this. They are playing on chess.com and then very briefly reviewing the games. And then for the next time, of course, they don't play the same inaccuracies or mistakes. They are showing and they are making the improvements. Okay, thank you very much. I would stay longer, honestly speaking, because this is quite rare for my channel having 10 people at the same time watching. Yes, unfortunately, some of you, even when I analyze things without a teacher by my side, I feel like I'm missing something, like I'm not making the right diagnosis. Yes, of course, because it's like the same. For example, you are your own, you are working. Maybe you are seeing games of Bobby Fischer, Gary Kasparov, Magnus Carlsen. And even maybe you are doing the right way, but because uh, no one, no any expert told you that, you have doubts. You have doubts that, maybe this is not the right way. Maybe I shouldn't be studying games in this way. But once any expert says, you should be taking the book of Gary Kasparov, Best Games of Gary Kasparov, or Best Games of Bobby Fischer, and you should be just sitting in front of chess board and moving the pieces and reading the comments or commentaries, and this is the right way, then it feels like completely different. Though you have been doing the same without knowing the right way. And here, just any expert tells you, this is the right way. Then it makes completely different situation. Yes, for sure. Of course, you can also go to Lichess or chess.com and start solving puzzles. Why not? Let's say you are 1200 or 1500 or 1700, go to uh, Lichess, puzzles, Puzzle Streak, I very much recommend. Puzzle Store, I very much recommend. You can also go here, like do 10 positions from here, opening, and then middle game, end game, rook end game, bishop end game, pawn end game, and constantly, not, one day and that's all. One day, 10 puzzles from opening topic, and then another day, middle game, 10 positions, 10 puzzles, and then end game. And if you manage to solve them, then very good for you. If you don't solve them, then try to understand, like, because you have access to a computer. So this one. Yes, most likely it is bishop f6 or knight b4 because knight c3 does not work. Just bishop takes c3. Knight b4 looks super tempting. I like also bishop f6 very much. And then if you are right, it continues, and if not, then later on you will have chance to analyze with the engine. Yes, the same on chess.com, Puzzle Rush, Puzzle Survival, very much recommend. Wow, 16. Oh, I think my YouTube channel is hacked. Like 16 people are watching. I'm surprised. Please, friends, tell me from which countries are you watching us or me? If you don't mind, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and you can check out my videos. Of course, if you like my videos and my content, from Tbilisi, amazing, Giga. Yes, I know one very, of course, I know many chess players from Georgia, and since you are having Google nickname or account of Giga, very strong grandmaster from Georgia, Giga Kuparadze. I'm not sure which city is he from, but a very strong grandmaster, and he's playing super fast. And I would very much love to know the secret. Why does he play so fast? So your Google account reminded me about Giga Kuparadze. Yes, at the moment I'm in KL. Kuala Lumpur. Yes, Malaysia. I've been living and working in Singapore last 15 months. Yes, and now I'm having holiday. Okay, now, dear friends, it's my pleasure, of course, to stay with you to spend time with my viewers, but I need to sleep. It's 2 a.m. morning, even already 2:10. Greetings to all of you. Continue following my stream and maybe some of my posts. Uh, Thank you very much. Goodbye. Bye bye. Have a nice evening to all of you. Have a nice evening. Wish you a very nice evening, dear friends.